Hello and welcome. This is Husky TV, and my name is Abdul Aziz Muhammad Inua with the news of the day. The federal government has called on all radio stations in Nigeria to use their platforms to raise awareness about climate change and its impact on the country. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, made this appeal in a statement on World Radio Day. Very Cletus reports.
In the crucial role of radio in educating communities about climate adaptation and mitigation, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, urged stations to collaborate with climate experts, environmentalists and policymakers to provide accurate and reliable information aligning with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. The minister also challenged individuals and organizations to reflect on their environmental actions, stressing that simple changes such as reducing plastic use, conserving energy, and promoting sustainable agriculture can have a long-term positive impact. He noted that climate change is a global issue that transcends borders, urging Nigerians to join global efforts in finding sustainable solutions. Idris further commended UNESCO for its World Radio Day initiative, emphasizing the need to harness the power of radio to drive climate action and protect the planet for future generations. Barry Cletus has KTV News.
In a passionate plea during the debate on the new Nigerian tax bills, Honorable Member representing Jalingo, Yorozing Federal Constituency, Honorable Sadiq Abbas Tafida, has urged the House of Representatives to halt the proposed value-added tax VAT increase and instead focus on formalizing Nigerians' vast informal economy. Tafida argued that rather than burdening already struggling citizens, the government should expand its tax base by reducing the informal sector's dominance from 58.8% to 25%, a move that could significantly increase government revenue. Barry Cletus reports.
Abbas Tafida pointed out that Nigeria's revenue to GDP ratio is only 9.4%, while VAT collection efficiency is just 20% of its potential, indicating major gap in tax administration. Highlighting the economic hardships triggered by recent government policies, including the removal of fuel subsidies and the Naira's floating exchange rate, Tafida cautioned against further austerity measures without first addressing systemic inefficiencies.
Speaker, we commend the drive and commitment of Mr. President to effect tax reforms to further grow this economy, Mr. Speaker, and it's highly appreciated by Nigerians. But Mr. Speaker, I would like to draw our attention to the aspect of our informal sector in this country, Mr. Speaker. Instead of increasing our taxes, Mr. Speaker, if we are able to formalize the informal sector, we may even raise revenues 5 times instead of increasing the taxes.
He recommended modernizing tax administration by automating VAT registration, filing and payment processes, ensuring a more transparent and efficient collection system. He emphasized that before any VAT increase, the government must strengthen tax compliance mechanism, improve revenue collection efficiency,
and effectiveness of the overall tax collection mechanization, and then automation of and modernization of tax collections, Mr. Speaker, instead of increase in these taxes. Mr. Speaker, I would also like to draw our attention to the many discrepancies in these tax bills that we should make sure we look at them clearly before passing them, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
Reassuring his constituents, Tafida reaffirmed his commitment to advocating for policies that prioritize the well-being of Nigerians. He proposed that the tax reform bills should focus on structural improvements before implementing any hike, a position that has sparked wider discussions among lawmakers, economists, and policy analysts. His stance has gained traction as stakeholders debate the best path forward for Nigeria's tax system. Barry Cletus has KTV News.
The Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria has given the federal government a 7-day ultimatum to implement the new national minimum wage and other benefits for judicial workers who face an indefinite strike. This decision was announced in a communique released after an emergency meeting at the JUSN Secretariat in Abuja. According to the union, the ultimatum begins on February 13, 2025 and ends on February 19, 2025. If their demands are not met, judicial workers will shut down courts nationwide from February 20, 2025. The Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria is demanding the full implementation of the new national minimum wage of 77,000, arguing that other public sector workers have already started receiving the revised wage. The union previously issued a 21-day ultimatum, which expired without action from the federal government. Let's take a break, and after that, the news will continue. For now, stay tuned. Welcome back, and now the news continues. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control has inaugurated the NAFDAC Consumer Safety Club in Government Science Technological College, Burundi, Gombe State. The initiative aims to raise awareness among students about the dangers of drug abuse, counterfeit medicines, and substandard food products. Speaking at the event, the Director General of NAFDAC, Professor Majisola Adeyi, represented by the agency's Gombe State Coordinator, James Agada, lamented the negative influence of peer pressure on young people, which often leads to drug abuse. Gombe was selected as the only state in the Northeast for the campaign, with 6 schools, including GSTC Burundi, set to benefit from the sensitization program. The Nigerian Customs Service, NCS, has officially handed over assorted arms and live cartridges seized during operations in 2024 to the National Center for Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons. The handover ceremony, held yesterday, marks a significant step in the country's ongoing efforts to curb the proliferation of illicit arms. Speaking at the handing over ceremony, Comptroller General of Customs, Mr. Adewale Adeniyi, emphasized the critical role of intelligence-driven interventions in safeguarding national security, particularly in light of rising insecurity from armed banditry in the northwest and the spread of illegal arms in the southeast. Adeniyi revealed that 11 suspects connected to the arms trafficking network were also handed over for further investigation and possible prosecution. That is the end of the news from here, Haske TV. I am Abdul Aziz Muhammad Inwa, saying have a nice day.